Well, if you're wondering why we've got the exact same learning target as before, well, remember when we were looking at the inverse trig ratios before, we were able to find exact answers if we're looking for 30 degrees or 45 degrees or 60 degrees. But those were the only exact values of angles that we could do because they had to come from a special right triangle. Now, we could do all sorts of neat things with the ratios of the sides, but if you actually want to know the value of the angles, we were very limited with what angles we can do. And so today we're going to discover, well, maybe if I can't find an exact value, can we use a calculator to find an approximate value? And so that's what we'll be looking at today, is using a calculator to come up with approximate values for the angles that we want to examine. As usual, our reminder of SOHCAHTOA, right? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent opposite over adjacent. Okay, so let's take a look. Cosine of 18 degrees. I'm going to need to grab a calculator. Now notice as I'm working with the calculator, I need to find the cosine button. And sometimes it's not like an actual button. Sometimes it's a secondary feature on a button. So if I want the cosine of 18 degrees, I need to find the command for cosine. I also need to make sure the calculator is set for degrees, right? Not radians. Make sure it's set for degrees. And then I can say, oh yeah, it's about 0.95. That'd be the cosine of 18 degrees. Now, if I want to go backward, for example, I want the arc cosine of 0.64. Instead, I need to say, okay, find the arc cosine button. And this is almost always a secondary or third feature. Right, on the calculator I'm using, you'll notice that I've got variables x, y, z, and t. And on the z button, the second function is cosine, and then the third function is arc cosine, or inverse cosine. And again, making sure I'm in degrees. And I'll say, oh, I need the inverse cosine of 0.64. It's about 50.2 degrees. What if I want arc sine of 5/13? Notice I don't try to figure out the value of 5 divided by 13 first. I actually type it in using arc sine. And then in parentheses, I put 5 divided by 13. Right? I have to use the parentheses, otherwise the calculator will try to do the arc sine of 5. Take that result and divide it by 13. Although if you actually did try to do it without the parentheses, you're going to get a very funny surprise, because it won't want to do the arc sine of a value as large as 5. But here we'll say, oh, okay, the angle that created the arc that had a ratio of 5/13, that angle was 22.6 degrees. All right, so you'll be working with a calculator today. You'll want to make sure that it is set for degrees. Be very careful that you are punching things in the correct order. Ooh, Princess Peach is off to a great start here. Is going through that maze. Luigi, get in there. Uh-oh, Princess Peach is taking a wrong turn. Luigi's moved up into almost second. Oh my goodness. Oh, Luigi's got this maybe. Oh no. Princess Peach, Mario, look out, look out. Uh-oh. Luigi's just about out. Oh dear, Luigi, I think you got out in time. Mario and Princess Peach, they have a little bit of a problem. But Luigi survived to inform us that today we have a worksheet. There's no IXL. Again, IXL seems to think we're all stars because on this lesson in IXL, besides doing arc sine, arc cosine, and arc tangent, they try to do the other trig ratios, which we will not look at until we are in second year algebra. We won't do them in geometry.